Welcome. In this e-learning module, I shall demonstrate, and make you understand how to create screws and dowels holes on the die plate. First, let's decide the size of the screw in the dowel. The thickness of the die plate that we are designing is 30 mm. We also need to add a die backplate below the die plate. Generally, the die backplate thickness will be between 8 mm to 12 mm. Hence the total stacked thickness will become 38 mm to 42 mm. As per the rule of thumb, we shall select M10 screw and die a 10 mm dowel. Now, I will demonstrate how to create screw and dowel holes on the die plate. First, let's create a sketch for the location of screw holes and dowel holes. Create a position sketch on the top surface of the die plate. Sketch 2 vertical infinite lines. Sketch 2 horizontal infinite lines. Convert all 4 infinite lines to construction elements. Sketch 4 points for the location of 4 screw holes. Position the first 3 points at the intersection of the lines. Position the last point away from the intersection. This positioning is for foolproofing. Sketch 2 more points for the location of dowels. Create dimensions for the edge distance of screw holes. For the last screw hole location, we are dimensioning the offset value. Create dimensions for the positioning of dowel holes with reference to the adjacent screw hole. The approach towards dimensioning is to capture the design principles like the edge distance and pitch. We are creating screw holes for M10, the edge distance will be 15 mm. Update all the edge distance dimensions to 15 mm. Update the foolproofing offset value to 5 mm. Update the dowel location holes to 20 mm. Create dimensions to measure the pitch for screw holes. The sketch turns pink, indicating the sketch is over-constrained. Create pitch dimensions as reference dimensions. The vertical pitch is more than the recommended value of 100 mm. It is 152.5 mm. Sketch 2 more points for the additional 2 screw holes at the center. Snap the points to the horizontal axis. The horizontal pitch is 114 mm. This value is not too high than the recommended value. Hence I shall ignore this. Make sure the sketch is fully constrained. Exit the sketch or workbench. Observe sketch created under the part body. Update the feature name of the sketch's fastener locations. We have completed the sketch for the location of the screw holes and dowel holes. Next, let's create a screw hole. Pick the point of the screw hole on the top surface of the die plate. Create a hole by picking on the hole command. Use the up to last option for the hole extension. Select counterbore for hole type. Select the hole standard as metric cap screws. Select M10 close as the hole size. Click on preview, make sure the hole is getting created and then pick OK. We have successfully created the screw hole. Now let's create the remaining screw holes. Pick the hole from the specifications tree. Pick the user pattern command. Pick the points for the instance positions. Observe the screw holes that are getting created on all the points of the fastener locations. We don't need screw holes on the dowel hole locations. Pick the points of dowel holes, where we don't need screw holes. Observe the dowel hole positions got deselected. The screw holes disappeared from dowel hole locations. Pick OK to create all the screw holes on the die plate successfully. Now let's create the dowel holes. Observe, after we created the screw holes, the points have disappeared. The fastener location sketch is hidden. Right-click on the fastener location sketch and unhide the sketch. Pick the dowel hole point on the top surface of the die plate. Create a hole by picking on the hole command. Use the up to last option for the hole extension. Select simple for hole type. Enter 10 mm as diameter value. Click on preview, make sure the hole is getting created and then pick OK. We have successfully created the dowel hole. Now let's create the remaining dowel holes. Pick the dowel hole from the specifications tree. Pick the user pattern command. Pick the fastener location sketch for the instance positions. Dowel holes are getting created on all the points of the fastener locations. We don't need dowel holes on the screw hole positions. Pick the points of screw holes, where we don't need dowel holes. Observe the screw hole positions got deselected. The dowel holes disappeared from screw hole positions. Pick OK to create all the dowel holes on the die plate successfully. The depth of the dowel hole is 30 mm. What we require is only 15 mm, as we are using a die 10 mm dowel hole. Let's create a relief hole so that the assembly and disassembly of dowel holes will become easier. Unhide the fastener location sketch. Pick the dowel hole point on the top surface of the die plate. Create a hole by picking on the hole command. Ignore the error. Pick OK on the error window. Use the blind option for the hole extension. Ignore the error. Pick OK on the error window. Enter 11 mm as hole diameter value. Enter 15 mm as hole depth. Click on preview, make sure the hole is getting created and then pick OK. We have successfully created a relief hole. Now let's create the remaining relief holes on the dowel holes. Pick the relief hole from the specifications tree. Pick the user pattern command. Pick the fastener location sketch for the instance positions. Observe relief holes are getting created on all the points of the fastener locations. We don't need relief holes in the screw hole positions. Pick the points of screw holes, where we don't need relief holes. Observe the screw hole positions got deselected. The relief holes disappeared from the screw hole positions. Pick OK to successfully create all the relief holes on the dowel holes of the die plate. Set view to isometric and fit all in. Save the file. We have successfully created the screws in the dowel holes on the die plate. That's all in this e-learning module. Thanks.